Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 17, and welcome back to the Western Shore. We got quite a bit going on. It's kind of a all-hands-on-deck event here in the wheat field. So let's hop in the cart quickly. We need to get this break it off. We need to get this turned back on as well. Yeah, I'm trying to do too many things at once. We need to get down here and get this combine harvester emptied before it gets to the end of the row, or at least get a bit of the tank empty so it can do another couple of rows. We've got it on a smart worker, and I don't know what to call that. I think of it like a contour length. It's not a straight length, right? Like a cardinal length. Oh yeah, we'll be able to get this thing almost all the way empty. Beautiful timing. When I started the video, I didn't know if we'd be able to get to it before the end of the row. Right, so we're bringing in this wheat field. We've got the row. We've got it set up to make straw row, and we are using the smart worker. I think this makes the most sense. When I tried to like visualize just putting it on a straight cardinal length, it didn't seem like the best use of time. Like the combine harvester would be making a lot of turns, too many turns. So we're using the smart AI instead. I did take one load of wheat down to the pigs. I did take one load of wheat to the cows, so this wheat can go to the silo. And when I get down there, yeah, I think our combine harvester will be able to work for a while without us tending to it. So we'll head down to the pig farm, we'll put this in the silo, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on with the farm. It's going to be probably about a 15-minute episode today. I just wanted to keep you up to speed on what's going on, so we didn't just jump ahead a couple days. The grass is already in, and we're working on potatoes. That will be most likely the next episode. I assume I'll do the grass off camera because it's something we've done a couple of times, and it's not something you necessarily need to see again. So we'll make a big turn here, like so. Fantastic. I'm really liking this little tractor. I was on the fence about it last episode, and I've decided we are going to keep it. I think it really fits the farm. It's 125 horsepower. I like the look of it. I like the mod. That D family, the C family and the D family, I think are both great mods. So yeah, we're going to keep it, and we're going to use it for, it's going to be used a lot for carting and a lot for running errands and taking care of animals and that sort of thing. I did put I believe it's pronounced aloe. I did put the aloe console on it. So this will take a front loader as well, and we can use it for bales and various other things, mucking out. Right, so we'll get this dropped off, and in fact, while it's unloading, because that takes a few minutes, I can bring up the map, show you what's going on. So we'll come right in here, right? Drop down there, set the brake, unload that. So I did bring in all the canola, and unfortunately, we didn't get a whole lot for it. We really didn't. I brought it all down to the silo, and the reason why is when we go to animals, right, I took a whole load of canola to the pigs, and that is about 5,000 liters. We'll call it 5,000 liters just to keep the math easy. And when you look here, we only got 88,000 liters total, and I also brought down for the pigs the corn that we had up at Blockwell, and that just about topped them off. So between the corn that we brought down that we had in storage, the canola that we just harvested, and the wheat that we just harvested, our pigs are just about topped off. And then I took wheat down to the cows as well. But I guess what I'm realizing is these crops, I thought we would save some for the animals and then sell the rest. We're going to save all of it for the animals because we really don't have a ton, right? We don't have a ton of crops to use as food for the rest of the year. So the idea that we would save some and sell the rest, I think is not a good idea. I think we need to save all of it for animal food, particularly for the pigs, because they eat so much. Now they make us a ton of money, and I do think that at some point we may sell them down to like 20 or 30 animals and just keep kind of a breeding stock base and not have 70 or 80 in there making 50 per night or 50 per day. And that is assuming that the pigs reproduce all year, and I don't know if they will. I think at some point that may slow down or stop. But for now, they almost, as much money as they're making us, they almost eat too much for them to be manageable. So what we could do is is wait until we're about to run out of food for the pigs, stored food that we've harvested. Wait till we're about to run out of food, and then sell them down to just, like I said, 15 or 20 animals. So we have something in there and we can start again next spring, but that we're not running ourselves ragged for the pigs and ignoring the rest of the farm. So that is one thing. And then the other thing is for grass, we are going to, let me see how this combine harvester is doing as far as volume. It's about 40%, so it should be able to make it up to the top of this next length, and then we'll empty it again, and then we'll hop in our baler, knock out a few bales, and we'll see about that as well. That's the other thing, straw. We got, I think we're on about 12 bales for this field so far, and maybe that puts us at 20 or 30 for the entire field. If we split those half and half between the pigs and the cows, again, it looks like a lot today, right, midsummer, but I don't know how it's going to feel 6 months from now, late winter, right? So there's a management aspect to the Western Shore that I'm really, really appreciating. I really do like it. And what else is going on? Oh, grass. I just mentioned grass. Yeah, I do think we should put up food with second cut, which we're going to start. I'm going to start it off camera as soon as we're done with this wheat field. And I think food makes the most sense. My dilemma last episode, and I don't know if I even explained it properly, but I'm very confident that we will get third cut, but we may not, either because that grass doesn't grow due to seasons, or that it's just raining and we lose part of it. So what would we rather lose? Would we rather lose silage that we're going to sell for money when we already have silage down at the PGA, or chaff? We haven't put the cover on it yet, but we have 700,000 liters, 200,000 pounds worth of sellable product down at the PGA at the moment. Do we want to risk losing that amount again, or do we want to risk losing food that we would need to spend a fortune on to buy for the entire fall and winter? And I think the answer is the latter. So let's bring in second grass cut as food for the cows, primarily for the cows, some for the sheep, and then we'll focus on third cut for silage. And that is assuming that we get one. I have no reason to think that we won't, but just in case we didn't, that would be it wouldn't be catastrophic, but it would be tricky. And the idea that, well, we can just keep breeding pigs and keep making, we're grossing about 100,000 pounds a day from pig sales, and then we're netting about 75,000 when we're buying food. When we feed them from food that we harvest, our net is going to be a bit higher, but that's only going to continue until we run out of food. So I don't want to count on the pigs. They are expensive to feed, and they also they may stop breeding. So I think we'll make it through the summer okay. I think we'll make enough money to be out of debt and well on the way to profitability, but I don't want to get careless this late in the game and sort of blow it and end up spending 200,000 or 300,000 pounds on food for our animals and negating all of the profit that we made from during the spring and summer. So second cut will be food. Third cut will be silage. We've got straw bales now, hopefully enough. We've got wheat for both the pigs and the cows. We've got canola for the pigs, and we'll have corn for the pigs as well later this summer. So yep, I think it's all coming together. I think it is. We can catch our very speedy combine harvester here. Sir, the cruise control is set at, I want to say 3 or 4. Oh God, that was Denzel, my man. What are you doing? The cruise control is set. In fact, let's set the brake here. Let's see what the cruise control is. I think it's just because it's going downhill. I thought the cruise control was set at, yeah, the cruise control is set at 5 miles per hour. I don't know what it was doing at nearly 20. I guess just momentum, gravity. All right, so I'll pull this thing up out of the way. We'll hop in our 5600. We'll take a look at our baler that we bought. I did buy it because after we're done with all these bales, we also have grass to do, and I may or may not be able to get it done before dark this evening in-game, which means we would need to have a baler again tomorrow. I want to bale as soon as something is ready to bale as far as grass. As soon as it's ready to bale, I want to bale it, get it into a shed so we have zero risk as far as possible lost crop, lost bales. So I did go ahead and buy the baler. And I got the Krona from the Straw Harvest DLC. And I'm really pleased with it. It's, I want to say it draws 80 horsepower, and that all has been corrected for more realistic, so what that would tell me is that in real life, this unit does draw 80 horsepower. It's not that big. You know, I thought about getting the Krona Ultima, and that is by ARM Modding, I want to say. The classic. The monster with the wrapper on it. But it's too big for this farm. It's too expensive for this farm. It's physically too big for this farm. And it is also, it draws more horsepower than I believe any of our tractors could support it with. So this is the better fit. Probably a bit expensive. We could have gone with the little New Holland round baler, but went with this one instead. I said Sandy Bay was going to be our fun map, and this was going to be our realistic map, but we can block by an object. Sir, go get that sorted out. We'll come back and bale a little bit. We can play realistically and have a little bit of fun. We can do both. So I thought let's splurge a little. I am definitely spoiled by the pigs at the moment. They made us so much money in the past few days. We have really spent a lot on equipment. About 250,000 we've spent on equipment. I think we'll be okay. And I don't want to forget that we do have a sellable product down at the BGA that's good for another 200. I did have to bump the loan a little bit. It's weird. Things are, you know, time is compressed in this game, not just hours, right, using time compression, but the days are compressed as well. We have a 6-day season. What if I just close this gate? Is that going to cause all manner of chaos? Let's risk it. Oh, it's already turned off and given up. Okay, no worries. So we'll turn this back on and make sure we're on the right side. We're not, so we'll restart that. We want to go, oh no, we do want to go that way. Okay, so we're okay there. Pull up here just a little bit. And get back to work. Sir? Blocked by an object. What object are you blocked by? Help me out here, buddy. There we go. Now it's working. Is it? Yep, it is. So, what was I complaining about? Oh, that the seasons are time is compressed. Time is compressed in a way that an entire year goes by in 24 days, which means that we may have to take out a loan this morning, but then we can pay it back tomorrow morning when we sell our pigs for 100 grand. Not a full loan, but the amount that we bump it up. If we bump the loan up by 50 or 100, we can pay that back fairly quickly. And that is not necessarily what would happen in real life. You might need more than, well, what is 1/24 of a year? A couple of weeks? You would need more than a couple of weeks to pay back a loan. In some cases, you might need a couple of years to pay it back. All right, let's make some bales. So it does, it's distorted by necessity. Time is distorted by necessity because nobody wants to play a 365-day game year. That would be, it would certainly be commitment. I'll give you that. But I don't know that it would necessarily be fun. So let's turn this off. Yeah, and we'll keep an eye on our TX34 from here as well. So, yep, it is strange sometimes to see the way I have to move money around, and we did need to bump the loan a little bit. I had paid a big chunk of it off, and we had no cash in the bank account, and then I had to put a little bit of cash back in the bank account, bump the loan a little bit to buy this baler, for example. And I did go with the manual net loading, and you can see down in the lower right-hand corner, the way we have the HUD displayed up there. It does tell us how many bales we have left before we have to reload the netting. I really appreciate that. If there was a downside to that Krona Ultima, it's that you never know when it's going to run out of consumables. And you've got to stop what you're doing and hop in a front loader, go back to the barn, and get supplies for it. I like the detail. I always did. I like that you can open the panels and turn the lights on underneath. I thought that was fantastic. But no warning. You never know when it's going to run out. So we'll go, where are we at? We're at 15 minutes. Let's just head back up to the top of one of these rows. Can be any row. Let's head back up to the top. We'll park this thing up momentarily, hop back in the International. I guess that's the best name for it, because it is sort of the US version. We'll hop back in the International, empty out the Combine Harvester one more time. Right, like so. Empty it out one more time, we'll call it. And then next episode, all the bales will be gathered up in this field. I'll get those all into sheds somewhere. I figure half for the cows, half for the pigs. And we'll get the rest of this wheat into the silo. And we'll be on to... Well, grass work will be done, so I think I may skip ahead to potatoes, because that's something we haven't done. We haven't done that I don't think, since Donald Laskowitz in 17. And we were playing that before 19 came out. Was that last year? I think it was. It's sort of all blurring together, the way things do. Alright, right up here. Like so. And we do have, I call them smart hedges. I don't know if that's the technical term for it, but we do have bullet bill smart hedges, so the bales will roll to the hedge and stop. But if we get up close to the hedge with a piece of equipment, we won't snag on every leaf and branch. There's no collision for vehicles, but there is a collision for bales. I don't know how he did that. It's one of those things that it's not necessarily a problem. It's just sort of tedious and annoying, and then a modder figures out a way to fix it. And in hindsight, I wouldn't say that it's obvious, but in hindsight, it's like, oh yeah, that's what we needed. We just needed a hedge to stop the bales, but not the tractors. The alternative, if you remember, from before smart hedges, was if you turned off the collision on your hedges, your bales would roll, particularly on a hilly map. They would roll for miles, for days. And that was no good either. Right. So we're going to set the brake. We'll leave this running, because it's been working kind of hard. We'll run down here, hop in the International, empty the Combine Harvester, and we'll call it. If I can get to it, because we need to get up to the top of the hill and turn around. If we can get to it. Well, this is going to be interesting. It's a race. All right, so we hop back in here. This mod has the longest exhaust plume, I think, of any tractor I've ever seen. Certainly base game, but even mods. Look at that. They set it up. I don't know if this is deliberate. I think it would have to be. They set it up so it is back into the foreground, almost behind the camera. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's like it goes behind your point of view, behind your perspective as the player. So in a way, it's like visually infinite. I mean, if you turn around, obviously, it doesn't go on forever, but it goes back far enough that it seems to be just continuing. Details, man. I love details in a mod, and this D family, and the C family as well, they both have tons of detail. Fantastic. All right, so I have this set to stop when it's unloading. So if we... Oh, we got to chase it down again. Even with the cruise control set slow, sir. And then it's going to do that little stoppy. Come on, man. Come on. Oh. All right, let's call it right there. There you have it, folks. Thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 17. Did I say that right? Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 17. Yeah, this is the Western Shore. We'll see you next time. Take care now.